Hey folks, welcome to the Camping Post. In this video, we are going to be winterizing the water lines in our Intech Soldan Rover. We've had it for about a year now. Last year, we decided not to winterize and put the antifreeze in. We just came out to the camper and put a heater in on those cold nights when it was going to be freezing or below for more than a few hours. But this year, we're going to put the antifreeze in the water lines, and we are going to show you how to do it. Thanks for watching. Now we've already moved the cover to the water lines here and exposed everything. As you can see here, we keep a copy of the Intech plumbing in our camper, and in this document it covers the water lines, and there is a section on winterizing. We'll see if we can put a link to that down in the description so that you can download a copy of that. Alright, so we've removed the seat and the access panel, and now our tank and the hoses to the water system are exposed. We've already drained the hot water heater, the freshwater tank, and all the water lines to the system. We do have a video of this on the YouTube channel, so check it out. You want to make sure you drain all the water before you add the antifreeze. So all of our low point drains are still turned on from the last trip to drain the water. This is the low point drain for the freshwater tank here. This is the low point drain for the hot water lines. And this is the low point drain for the rest of the lines in the water system. So we're going to close all those to make sure no antifreeze drains out of the system. So you'll also want to close off the water lines to the hot water tank. If the stem of the valve is pointed towards the tank, that means it's open and flows into the tank. If it's perpendicular, that means it's off. So we're going to shut those off. We do not want the antifreeze fluid to go into the tank, so we're closing that off to the system. And if you have a tankless water heater, be sure to check your manual or check with the manufacturer to see if you can run the fluid through that. We also want to close the feed from the freshwater tank to the water pump so that we're not pulling in from the freshwater tank, and we'll only be pulling from the feed for the antifreeze, because that's the line that feeds from the water tank into the water pump to push the water into the system. Now here is your intake valve for the antifreeze fluid. It has a little plug on the end. All you have to do is simply unscrew that and then set it aside for later. So right now the valve for our intake hose is off. We are going to turn that on, and that will allow the antifreeze to get sucked in by the water pump. And here is our jug of antifreeze fluid. You can purchase this at just about any RV or marine shop, or order it online. We'll put a link in the description for similar products. And for our 2021 Intech Soldan, it takes about a gallon to do the system. So what you're going to notice here is once we take the top off, the end of the hose doesn't fit into the jug. So we're going to cut part of the top of the jug off so that we can put the hose down into the solution. Or you could put the antifreeze into a bucket and put your hose into that. You might also want to have a towel or some rags handy for any spills or drips during this process. So now with the top cut off, we can just feed our hose to the bottom of our antifreeze solution or your bucket if that's what you're using. And just to be on the safe side, I'm double checking that all my floor drains are off and that the feed from the freshwater tank is off as well. And then we'll hop over to the control panel in the kitchen so that we can flip the switch for the water pump. Turn on the water pump. Now that the water pump has pulled the antifreeze into the system, you're going to want to run some of that through the faucet into the sink drain, through the shower head, and through the toilet and into your gray tank. Again, our 2021 Intech Soldan will easily use a gallon of antifreeze solution to fill and circulate through our lines. Now we're going to go run the antifreeze solution through the system. So right now the water pump is on, and we are going to run some of that antifreeze fluid through our lines. They say about a cup worth. You can see we still have some water in the lines, so we want to bleed that out. We're going to make sure this stuff is turning pink. Alright, pretty good there. We're going to do the same in the shower. I'm going to grab my shower head. We are going to use that to run some into the toilet here. You can see, finally getting some pink fluid. We're going to get all our water out. We also want to run some of this through the toilet. And we also want to run some of the antifreeze through the outside water line. Right now I'm running it into a pitcher. And then I'm going to unhook the hose and I want to drain that into the pitcher as well, releasing the air pressure so it'll drain a little bit. And we'll take that hose inside to rinse it out in the sink. Then we're going to wipe up and call that done. As you saw, it didn't take long for us to run through that little bit of fluid here. Sort of ran out. We're going to close off that valve. We don't need any more coming in. We've already turned off our water pump, so it's not going to suck anything in. I'm just going to kind of clean off pipe in the connector a little bit. Put our plug back in. And then I'm going to dump there's a little bit of remaining mount here into the toilet. And with that, folks, that's about it. That's all you got to do to winterize. When it comes summer or spring, when you're ready to go back out again, you just want to run that out of the system and fill up your tank a couple times and run that through. Sometimes we use an actual water freshening agent that we put in here to run through the pipes as well. So we'll probably run that this spring and hopefully document that. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications.